And I remember under my hotel door, I ended up getting a note from this girl saying, meet me in the sauna. I want to do something with you. And at that moment, I knew what was going to go down, but in the sauna? Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story all takes place back when I was in high school, and this was actually when I took a family trip to Mexico. Now, if you guys don't know, vacations are very common between me and my family. Like, we always like going on vacations back when I was younger. Like, I've been to LA, I've been to like Florida, I've been to many places, but I think one of the most insane trips was definitely my Mexico trip, because I remember the day when spring break started, I got home and I instantly went straight to my Xbox and started playing video games with me and my friends. And I want to say like an hour in, out of nowhere, my mom ends up walking in saying, Bubba, I have a surprise for you. Now, usually when she says this, I usually think she's giving me a console or a video game or, you know, some sort of gift. But then she ended up pulling out 2 pieces of paper that were tickets to Mexico. Now, me back when I was in high school, don't get me wrong, I would always go out and have fun and stuff in my city, but traveling was never something I really planned for myself. And I could not believe when she pulled out those tickets. I ended up looking at her saying, wait, what are we doing in Mexico? What's even in Mexico? Bubba, we're going to an all-inclusive resort. It's very good. You're going to love it. And at that moment, I'm not gonna lie to you, as a homebody, I didn't really want to go, but at the same time, since my family usually makes me go on these vacations, I really had no choice. But I remember the weekend of, I ended up getting everything packed, and basically from there, me and my family headed for the airport. The whole plane ride to Mexico, I won't lie to you, I hate planes. Planes are something that I just never enjoy because I can't sleep on planes. I can't handle the turbulence. Like, it's just no fun. But luckily on this flight specifically, I ended up actually getting Wi-Fi so I could actually, you know, use my phone and stuff. And actually at this time I was playing my Nintendo DS like the whole flight there, which was actually pretty fun. And once we actually landed, I remember once we actually like went through the airport of Mexico, I am not joking, there was like a little section of tourists or people visiting Mexico that were going to this resort that we were going to. So I remember we ended up seeing this, we ended up going with them, and we ended up hopping on this bus, and I won't lie to you, the bus was crammed. Like, a lot of people were shoulder to shoulder, and I actually felt pretty uncomfortable. But then out of nowhere, a person ended up sitting beside me, and it was a girl. Now, this girl, she was obviously not from anywhere I know of, because she ended up having like a kind of a cool accent. I think like a UK accent, if anything. And she looked over at me and said, oh, sorry, can I sit here? Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, you can sit right there. Okay, awesome, thank you. And she sat down beside me, and the whole time she ended up just watching me play my DS the whole bus ride to the resort. And then she ended up like kind of talking to me here and there, and I'm not gonna lie to you, me and her, we kind of got along. Even though she had a different accent than me, I kind of understood her ish. I don't know, I don't really understand English accents. Like, you know, if you have an English accent, comment down below, because I want to know what is some UK slang that I could learn. But going on with the story, I remember basically once we finally got to the resort, me and her, we ended up basically like actually like walking out together, and we ended up going back to our families, and we decided to basically exchange social media so we can meet up later. In a way, I guess I was also rizzing in different countries, which is not rare for me because, well, I mean, hey, I'm the ultimate Riz Lord. But once I entered inside my hotel room, I remember I ended up just laying down on the bed after I finished unpacking and basically just went on my DS once again. I plugged it in and just started playing The Legend of Zelda the whole time and just did nothing really. Like, even though I was on vacation, I'm still a homebody. Like, I prefer to stay inside than go outside. But one thing was for sure, my parents were not happy with this idea. I remember my mom ended up walking up to me saying, Bubba, you're in a whole different country and you're just gonna sit down playing your game? Yeah, mom, I just gotta beat this real quick. Just give me 1 second. No, Bubba, time to get up. Let's go. What? Where are we going? We're going around Mexico. Oh, fine. So me and her, we ended up going around the resort and we started walking around, and then out of nowhere, I ended up seeing the girl that I met on the bus by the pool. She was by the pool tanning, and I remember I looked at her and I looked at my mom saying, Mom, can I go by the pool? You want to go swimming? Yeah, mom, like, I love swimming. Bubba, you never swim at home. Mom, we're in Mexico. At this moment, my mom ended up smiling, and I ended up running back up to the hotel room, getting my ducky swim trunks on, and I basically ended up going down there and seeing her. When I entered inside the pool, she ended up looking at me saying, oh, hey, Bubba, are you going for a swim? Yeah, you know, I'm a professional swimmer back where I'm from, so I thought I should practice a little bit. Oh, really now? Oh, yeah, you know, I just like swimming a lot. I don't know, it's just my thing. And then, well, one thing led to another. Me and her, we ended up swimming together, and I'm not gonna lie, we got pretty close. We got pretty close to the point where, like, you know, we were playing games together and stuff, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm so happy that it was just me and her at the pool, because if anyone was watching what we were doing, it would have been really, really awkward. But I remember it got to the point where she ended up getting a bunch of text messages from her parents saying that she had to come back up to the hotel room. So she ended up looking at me saying, Bubba, I have a question. Yeah, what's going on? Well, like, what's your hotel room number? Oh, this is my hotel room. And I ended up basically like sending her a message about like where my hotel room was. And she ended up smiling and she walked away. She walked away in a towel. And at that moment, I not joking, I got out of the pool so fast and went back to my hotel room just to go play my DS again. But what ends up happening next was actually kind of mind-blowing, because I remember once I got back into my hotel room, I remember I was just kind of sitting there playing my game and just doing my thing, but then out of nowhere, I ended up hearing a knock on the door. I ended up basically going up to the door to see who it was, because my parents said that they were going to like a dinner, and I was just alone in my hotel room by myself. So as I walk up to the door and open it, I see that there was no one there. I thought someone was ding-dong ditching me in Mexico, which I don't know why they would, but still, I found it really odd until I looked down. When I looked down, I saw that there was a note, and I picked it up, and I wanted to see what it said. And it said, "Hey, Bubba, can you meet me in the sauna? I want to show you something." And my mind was actually blown. Like, I didn't know what in the world this girl wanted me to go to the sauna for, but I was pretty excited. Not because of the sauna, obviously. To be honest, I didn't even know the hotel had a sauna. But the fact that I was going to go see this girl again and that she wanted to see me just goes to show that I have major W riz. I remember I got my swim trunks back on, and I decided to basically walk barefoot without a shirt, walking around the hotel to see where the sauna was, because I had no idea where it was at the time. And as I'm looking around, I ended up seeing this guy just look at me as if I was crazy, because it was actually like pretty dark out. I want to say it was like nighttime at Mexico. So I think it was like around like maybe like 9:30 at night. And it got to the point where I couldn't find it. So I decided to walk up to the front desk and be like, "Hey, excuse me, do you know where the sauna is?" Obviously they didn't speak English, but they understood the word sauna. So they ended up like telling me where it was, or pointing at it, I should say. And well, one thing led to another. Once I ended up walking into the sauna, she was in there sitting in her bikini, and she looks at me saying, "Baba, I've been like thinking about you. You've been thinking about me?" "Yeah." And well, one thing led to another. I think you guys know where this is going, but basically me and her, we ended up doing the Devil's Tango. And I am not joking. It was so out of nowhere and so out of left field how this happened, but I'm not gonna complain because, well, hey, I was on vacation. But the most craziest thing ended up happening where out of nowhere, I remember the sauna door doesn't lock. So while we were in there steaming up, there was a worker that ended up walking in, and he saw me and her, and he started like freaking out at both of us for doing the Devil's Tango, to the point where I remember they ended up calling our parents and saying that we weren't allowed to be unsupervised in the resort anymore. Obviously, it kind of ruined my vacation, but hey, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys would do the same thing, fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.